Hi! Welcome to another edition of Mardon Technique PV, Tricky Math. Today, we will discuss about divisibility. There are three ways to know if a number is divisible by another number. Number 1, by using calculator, of course the easy way. And number 2, by doing manual or long division. And number 3, by divisibility rules. So, by using calculator, example, is 345 divisible by 5? So, solution, by using calculator, 345 divided by 5 is equal to 69. So, therefore, 345 is divisible by 5 because the answer is a whole number. Example number 2 is 5,145,965 divisible by 5. So, solution, again by using calculator, 5,145,965 divided by 5 is equal to 1,029,193. So, therefore, 5,145,965 is divisible by 5 because the answer is a whole number. Example number 3 is 235 divisible by 2. Solution, 235 divided by 2 is equal to 117.5. Therefore, 235 is not divisible by 5 because it has a decimal point, which is 0.5, or simply the answer is not a whole number. Next is by performing manual division. So, see example 1. 345 divided by 5. So, 6. 6 times 5 is 30. And 34 minus 30 is 4. Then break down 5. Then 45 divided by 5 is 9. Then 9 times 5 is 45. So 45 minus 45 is 0. 345 is divisible by 5. Now, let's see example 2. So, 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. So, 5 minus 5 is 0. Bring down 1. So, 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. So, bring down 4. 14 divided by 5 is 2. Then, 2 times 5 is 10. 14 minus 10 is 4. So, bring down 5. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 9 times 5 is 45. So, 45 minus 45 is 0. Then, bring down 9. So, I made an erasures. Yeah. 9 divided by 5 is 1. Then, 1 times 5 is 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. Then, bring down 6. 46 divided by 5 is 9. Then 9 times 5 is 45. And 46 minus 45 is 1. Then bring down 5. Then 15 divided by 5 is 3. Then 3 times 5 is 15. So therefore the answer is 1,029,193. Now, let's see example 3. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Then bring down 3. 3 divided by 2 is 1. Then 1 times 2 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Then bring down 5. Then 15 divided by 2 is 7. Then 7 times 2 is 14. And 15 minus 14 is 1. So therefore, the answer is 117 remainder 1. So therefore, 117 remainder 1, 235 is not divisible by 2. The third step is by performing divisibility rules. Divisibility rules tells whether a number is exactly divisible by other numbers. This rule is a shortcut way to decide whether it is exactly divisible without doing division or computation. So by simply looking at the numbers, you can already determine if the number is divisible by a certain number or not. Yes, correct. You heard it right. By simply looking at the numbers, you will identify that the numbers is exactly divisible by another numbers. So here is an example. A number is divisible by 2 if it is an even number or if it ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So remember this rule. A number is divisible by 2 if it is an even number or if it ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So here is an example. 20. So it is an even number and it ends with 0. So therefore, it is divisible by 2. So if you perform, at least by using calculator, to check, 20 divided by 2 is equal to 10. So it is a whole number and no decimal point. So therefore, this is an exact number and it is divisible by 2. Number 2, 342, the same. It ends with 2. So therefore, it is divisible by 2. 456. 456, number 6. So it ends with 6. So therefore, it is divisible by 2. 3,988. So 8, it is also divisible by 2 because it ends with 8. So number 5, 12,030. So it is divisible by 2 because it ends with 0. Number 6, 156,080 is divisible by 2 because it ends with 0. So number 7, 24 is divisible by 2 because it ends with 4. Number 8, 232 is divisible by 2 because it ends with 2 and also it is an even number. So for number 9, 4,578 is also divisible by 2 because it ends with 8. So for number 10, 1,020,000 is also divisible by 2 because it is an even number and it ends with 0. So see, by simply looking up the number and by remembering the rules, you can easily determine that this is divisible by 2. Or when you divide it by using calculator or manual division, you can identify that the answer is an exact number with no decimal point or with no remainders if you perform the manual division. So that is the importance of divisibility. By simply looking at the number, you will identify the number is divisible by a certain number. So in this case, the first rules that we discuss is divisibility rules by 2. Divisible by 5. And here is the other number. A number is divisible by 5 if and the number ends with 5 or 0. So, any number that ends with 5 or 0 is divisible by 5. So, here is the example. 15, so it ends with 5. So, therefore, when you divided by 15 by 5, the answer is 3, is a whole number. So, therefore, and by simply looking at the number, you can identify that the number is divisible by 5. So, 15, 25, also divisible by 5. 20, also divisible by 5 because it ends with 5 or 0. So, for this case, number 3, example number 3, 20 ends with 0. So, therefore, it is also divisible by 5. So, number 4, 30 is also divisible by 5 because it ends with 0. Number 5, 40, the same. It ends with 0. So, therefore, it is divisible by 5. And number 6, 125. So, it is also divisible by 5 since it ends with 5. 4,510 is also divisible by 5. So, no need to perform division because it ends with 0. So, therefore, it is divisible by 5. So, the answer is an exact number. So, for number 8, 10,230 is also divisible by 5 because it ends with 0. So, number 9, 100,360. So, it is also divisible by 5 since it ends with 0. So, number 10, 1,535 is also divisible by 5 because it ends with 5. 20,560 is also divisible by 5 because it ends with 0. So, number 12, 12,659,235 is also divisible by 5 because it ends with 5. So, remember, a number is divisible by 5 because it ends with 0 and 5.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.
Divisible by 10. A number is divisible by 10 if the number ends with 0 or 10. So remember if it ends with 0 or 10, so it is divisible by 10. So here is an example. Number 1 is 10. So it is divisible by 10, of course, because if you 10 divided by 10, the answer is 1. It is a whole number. No decimal point again, or if you perform manual division, there is no remainder. So therefore, 10 is divisible by 10, of course. Number 2, 200. So it ends with 0. So therefore, it is divisible by 10. Number 3, 360. It is also divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. Number 4, 5,030 is also divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. So, no need to perform the manual division or by using calculator. So, you can identify the number that they are divisible. For number 5, 13,380 is also divisible by 10 by simply looking at the number because it ends with 0. Number 6, 150,670 is also divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. 578,340 is divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. So whatever the number, how big is the number, so you can still say that it is divisible by 10 because you have the keywords. It ends with 0 and 10. So in this case, it ends with 0. So no need to perform the manual division or no need to perform using calculator. But for you to check, you can still use the calculator the easy way if you are allowed to use. But if not, then you need to perform the manual division, the long process. Number 8, 34,050 is also divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. Number 9, 5,650,000 is also divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. Number 10, 340,090 is also divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. So 34,080 is divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. Number 12, 20 is also divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. So mostly, the number that ends with 0 and 10 are, of course, divisible by 10 as per the divisibility rules. So again, by simply looking at the number, you can tell where to divide the number because of the divisibility rules. Sample exercise. On the table below, put yes if the number are divisible by 2, 5, and 10. And no if not divisible. So here are the given examples for us to solve in less than 3 minutes. Last 1 minute. Last 30 seconds. Last 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I hope you participated and you got the correct answer. Here is the answer. 3,240 is divisible by 2. Yes, because it ends with 0. Divisible by 5 because it ends with 0. And divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. 14,545 ends with 5. So therefore, it is not divisible by 2. But divisible by 5. And of course, not divisible by 10. For number 3, 100,324 is divisible by 2. Yes, because it ends with 4. It is not divisible by 5. because it does not end with either 5 or 0, and also not divisible by 10 because it does not end with 0 or 10. For number 4, 2 million. It is divisible by 2? Yes, because it ends with 0. It is divisible by 5? Yes, because it ends with 0. And divisible by 10 because it ends with 0. 10,340,005 is not divisible by 2 because it ends with 5. It is divisible by 5? Yes, because it ends with 5. And it is not divisible by 10 because it does not end with 0 or 10. So I hope these exercises help you understanding the divisibility rules for number 2, number 5, number 10.